Okay, day 36 of the fast, 9:02 p.m., March 7th, 2024. Yesterday I discussed that I was going to start using physical resources to help me with mainly my drawing. And I'm feeling a way like for something like a physical activity, I need like physical resources, and like there are certain things, but in terms of like drawing, maybe music or anything else, maybe I just need like a tangible thing for it to help me with that. I actually did do a little bit of study from the book. It was like, I think I'm actually a quarter way through it already. Let me find the page. Man, I know that is not all I did yesterday. I remember specifically. What the hell? Here we go. I skipped a page, that's what happened. So yesterday was head construction and study of the head. That's 2 stages right there. Like understanding basically understanding how the skull works a little bit better, I noticed. And then I also, like, going a little bit further, he teaches you about how the muscles work as well and what to consider. And even says that with this knowledge, you'll be able to understand the forms a little better. This right here, I was studying the planes of the face. I have a general idea of where the planes of the face are, but looking at this, I also noticed that I need to work on my proportions. Because when it comes to like certain things, especially drawing like complex stuff, I mean, this looks good, but it doesn't look like what I was trying to draw. And I at least got the general idea down. But for instance, like this nose right here, I can already tell that's way too small. Right here, the head is a little too wide, and I still think the nose is still too small. This is supposed to be like facing this way. But that'll come with time, and I'm not really sweating that. I think for the most part, what I was trying to do, I achieved it. I just got some detail work to do. But it's working out pretty well. And also, like, at work today, I don't know what happened, but I ended up getting everybody in gear. It kind of started with me, like, talking with the main crew, telling him that I noticed that there were some things that we could improve on. Because the last time that crew was with me, they kind of... It wasn't our best work. I wouldn't say it was bad, but it wasn't our best. So I wanted to say that to them. And we came up with solutions, talked about it together, and I could almost eat off that after that. It was crazy. I'm not even a manager, but they did it. I don't know how exactly that happened. I do make sure to show appreciation for when something is done well. So I think that does have something to do with it a little bit. But I think also like at least just showing that I was willing to acknowledge the fact that it was like that it wasn't good, even if they were a little mad about it. Like when I went to the first guy, I definitely had a harder time reaching out to him than the second guy. But I think that's also because with the first guy, I was able to talk to him, and maybe I didn't frame it properly. So I adjusted my approach going to the second guy, and he was still mad, but at least he was receptive. And later he actually tried. Later we came up with a solution, and it looked way, way better. I'd say this was honestly our best work, for sure. And I even want to go there tomorrow and tell them that. And even like the third person there, I think somewhere in the beginning I pissed them off because I was talking to like my main crew and telling them about everybody there. I would have like, it was like us three are kind of the dream team, right? And then I noticed she was slamming things, or that could just be my anxiety speaking. But I definitely do think I pissed her off a little bit. But even after that, she did well too. She normally does well. And I gotta make sure I tell her that next time I see her there. But she did really well today too. That was kind of an accident. I feel like that was a little manipulative. But that was an accident. That's not the kind of leader I want to be. If I were to like define the kind of leader I want to be, it's almost like a coach of a team in a way. It was like I can be cold when I need to, but I'm willing to recognize that we are doing things well. And I won't fix what's not broken. But I also try to get their like input for innovating, like get their feedback, stuff like that. I'm willing to include them in the process, basically. I understand that maybe that won't work all the time and different people will need different things. And it'll come with time for sure. But everybody really showed their strength today. I'm definitely proud of them for doing that. But I will say, like, the other person that was with us, I definitely did not want to make her feel any type of way. I was talking to them about how I am a little bit socially awkward, but I'm trying not to be. So the lesson I learned here is maybe I need to try and talk more privately. That's what I was trying to do at first. But it ended up not happening because I don't want to step on the actual manager's toes. But my philosophy is now, like, if I'm going to be doing that in the future, why not act as if I already have it, so I can get the practice in now, can figure out what works, and then when I have the authority, I can, like, play around that. So I'm trying to learn how I can play around, like, just getting them, basically just learning to gain respect while I don't have any authority technically. And yeah, so there were definitely some good lessons and there were definitely some bad lessons today. I did try to talk to her, like ask her if anything was wrong, but she did say no, but honestly, maybe she was lying. She did calm down after I asked her though. I don't know. I definitely think that maybe she thought I was playing favorites a little bit. And yeah. But that girl usually does pretty good. And I definitely want to make sure that I acknowledge her for that. Because yeah. But everyone did really good today. We set a new standard that I'm going to want to strive for every time. And while I know that it's probably not going to be possible, there will be some days, I do want to let them know that that is the standard I will be looking for from now on. It's the standard we should be striving towards, for sure. And I'll even let them know that I understand it may not be possible to achieve that every time, but we should be striving to achieve that most of the time, at the very least. So yeah. I think I'm actually... One of my 100 things to do before I'm 30 list is to identify and define my charisma. Actually, that's the first one. And I think I'm slowly getting close to actually learning that. So, with that being said, I hope you all are taking care of yourselves. Oh wait, no. Another thing I want to mention. If you guys are having trouble identifying, like, you know what's wrong, but you don't know what's wrong, chances are, if the same things keep popping up in your life, like the same situations, you may have to flip your perspective a little bit. Maybe it's something that you are not seeing. This is one of the lessons that God taught me personally, and I'm getting better at being prepared. Sometimes they still happen, but that's also because I'm still kind of working on it. But I have noticed that once I started working on it, and actually really observing to see what the problem was and what I could do for a solution, I started to notice that those problems were happening less and less. So I can recommend that you guys start keeping a journal. Write down your thoughts, your concerns. Every day, try to be as consistent as you can with it. As long as you do it more often than not, that is the general goal. Even half the time, but just make sure that you're doing it. And when you're doing it, go back and read your past entries so that you know, so that you can see what was on your mind that day. I make sure to read my journal every once in a while. I used to read the past entry before I wrote a new thing every time. But I don't do that as much, but I still remember to go back and read my journal, because I know that if I'm still struggling, chances are I've run into the same problem I'm facing now before. And I can see what I was doing that day and what was on my mind that day. I actually made a short about it. I thought it was really important that you should reread your journal entries. It's very important. And actually, if you have a therapist, I would even suggest maybe reading it out loud to your therapist so that you guys really know what's going on. Maybe I should start doing that with my therapist. My journal entries are a little weird, though, because I treat my journal as its own character. And I talk to it like it's a different person, and it answers back like it's a different person. Little philosophy trick I learned a couple weeks ago, I think. But yeah, I think it is important that we ask questions. We stay honest with ourselves and make sure that if there is something that is going on, we are the ones making an effort to prove it. We're not setting blame. We're not making excuses unknowingly. But we are striving to actually solve the problems that are plaguing our body and our mind. That is what this fast is about. And I also just realized I forgot to do the intro. The details of what my fasts are will be in the description. I will say that. But while I don't think it's okay to strive for perfection, because perfection is impossible. If you identify as a perfectionist, I used to. The best thing I did for myself is to allow myself to fail. I got rid of my fear of failure, and I'm trying to fail as much as possible every day so I can learn new lessons. God has definitely been working on me, and I can tell He's been revealing some things to me, and I still got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. And I also got to spend more time with Him, because I realize I haven't been doing that. But I'm going to cut it there. With that being said, I hope you all are taking care of yourselves. May God bless you in your endeavors.